On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human being to land on the moon with the support of America's most experienced space exploration agency called NASA. However, today, the same agency wants the support of SpaceX to help them safely land their astronauts on the moon. In fact, the entire Department of Defense in the United States now wants the support of SpaceX to transport their military cargo around the world within a few minutes. The credit goes to SpaceX's all-new Starship spacecraft, created under the supervision of SpaceX CEO and chief engineer Mr. Elon Musk, who calls the spaceship the holy grail of space technology. So what makes Starship so unique and demanding that it has left decades-old NASA agencies scratching their head and has increased every space exploration company's dependence on SpaceX that was founded only 20 years ago? Don't forget to watch till the end, because we'll also be talking about how you can soon land on Mars with the help of this beautiful Starship. Main features of Starship. Since its launch in 2002, SpaceX has revolutionized how space missions should be conducted. As NASA, a government agency of the United States, is heavily dependent on a tight budget to conduct its missions, SpaceX, as a private company, came up with a unique solution and shocked NASA with the Hollywood-style entry of its Falcon 9 rocket that can be reused for various missions, thus reducing the amount of cost involved in a mission and increasing reliability on SpaceX. Moreover, Starship is the next-generation spacecraft capable of conducting extremely heavy transportation into various space stations, by not comprising reasonable cost, reusability, and reliability. Some of the shining features of the Starship includes transportation. As you now know, it will be completely reusable spacecraft. It will also be responsible for conducting transportation missions related to Earth's orbit as well as Moon and Mars. Divided into two parts, the bottom half of the Starship consists of a super heavy rocket that acts as a booster. The other upper half of the spacecraft consists of the Starship that is carefully designed to meet the customer's evolving needs by maintaining the perfect level of reliability. It might look small from a distance, but this monstrous spacecraft is around 100 feet taller than the iconic Statue of Liberty. Furthermore, it can transport things like satellites, heavy payloads, crew, and cargo to various orbits or landing sites at Earth, the Moon, and Mars, and could also land hundreds of Elon Musk Tesla Roadsters in space if he wants to. Payload configuration. Starship, without the crew, can transport satellites, large observatories, and even refueling tanks with its giant space. As the payload consists primarily of sensitive objects, SpaceX has specifically designed a stage separation and a payload fairing door to ensure that all the payload remains safe from any shockwave during the entire mission. And when the time comes for unloading the payload, the clamshell-based structure of the rocket from the top opens itself in half and unloads the payload in the decided area. Crew configuration. If you plan to ride this bad boy one day, you'll be surprised to know that it has created a massive space to fit an entire small town. Some of the facilities for the raiders include private cabins, gigantic common areas, centralized storage space, solar storm shelters, a mesmerizing viewing gallery, or maybe even a private bar, which we're intentionally guessing. Not to forget, Starship can easily transport 100 people from Earth to the Moon and Mars. Other features. Despite being a reusable spacecraft, Starship can also capture the satellites and even repair them in orbit. Moreover, if you're wondering about the actual loading capacity of this rocket, then you'll be surprised to know that it can smoothly carry around 100 tons of cargo to Moon and Mars. This means it can easily transport 100 African elephants to Mars. It seems like African elephants will have a perfect time of their lives. So, what is the current progress of this spacecraft? As impressive as these features sound initially, you'll be astonished to know that SpaceX has already tested 5 prototypes of the upper part of the spacecraft. However, only the last one managed to land successfully, and the first 4 were blown away like a mini nuclear bomb. This brings us to the second half of the spacecraft that needs more rocket engines than the Starship to boost the entire spacecraft and help it land in the targeted orbit. But due to unexpected challenges that are being faced concerning the design of the spacecraft, as well as getting approval by the jealous regulators of the country, the actual objective of the Starship is getting more delayed than expected. Environmental changes. When a giant company is constantly involved in experimenting with enormous rockets, some environmental issues are bound to occur that can easily catch the attention of environmentalists. Located near the US-Mexico border at Boca Chica, Texas, the people can easily witness the entire development of the SpaceX rockets. From flying a rocket to witnessing it crash like a game, many space exploration media companies and environmentalists are constantly looking for opportunities to take action against SpaceX by installing their cameras nearby. However, after realizing that endangered species surround the testing site, SpaceX welcomed environment body in 2014 before he got permission to test his Falcon 9 rocket. Luckily, the government cleared it as a safe site for conducting such heavy operations. However, after SpaceX planned to launch the next-generation spacecraft called Starship, the failed testing of the prototypes resulted in massive debris and sending dangerous shockwaves kilometers away. Moreover, SpaceX is also planning to install a solar farm, building parking lots, and create a natural gas plant to provide fuel to the Starship. This soon grabbed the attention of the Federal Aviation Administration, which is currently analyzing whether SpaceX testing of making Starship perfect for future missions is in consonance of sustainable environment or not. And if it fails to get approval from the authority, or maybe bribing them, this could delay the SpaceX projects for months or even years. Why does NASA need the help of SpaceX? In 2021, NASA invested around a massive $2.9 billion in SpaceX to create a unique version of Starship for landing astronauts on the moon again in 2025. Furthermore, the ultimate objective is to create a base on the moon for conducting smoother missions directly from the moon on Mars. However, before 2025, SpaceX is bound to prove and show NASA that Starship is capable of landing on the moon, and could also return safely. For this, a test flight would be conducted of Starship, which the world would soon witness about its capability. High hopes from Starship. Despite helping NASA in conducting noble missions, Starship will also be one of the most revenue-generating machines for SpaceX. And when Elon Musk is investing so much of his time in this project, it seems understood he wants to keep his money hiding in the bank vault, maintained. For example, many commercial and government agents will use Starship to launch their satellites in desired orbits. SpaceX's own Starlink initiative will be heavily dependent on Starship, because thousands of Starlink satellites still need to be launched in the desired location. As per Elon Musk, Starship could launch hundreds of Starlink satellites into orbit, which is more capable than a Falcon 9 rocket that could only launch 60 satellites at a time, thus reducing the cost and speeding up the process on missions. According to Abhi Tripathi, the director of mission operations at the Science Lab of University of California, Berkeley, Starships create endless opportunities for launching bigger and more progressive telescopes into space, which would help understand the solar system much deeper than ever. Moreover, as it is a reusable spacecraft, it would reduce the cost of various companies waiting to conduct serious missions in space. This means we might soon be able to peek into the life of aliens, if they allow us to violate their privacy. So this was a short glimpse about how Starship will be helping us explore space like never before, although it is acceptable that some form of risk is always present in the space world. The way these spacecrafts are being designed under the supervision of top engineers of the world, we believe that the future of space exploration is going to be beyond imagination. Moreover, a Japanese entrepreneur, Yusaku Maezawa, will be the first civilian passenger to fly by the moon through Starship missions in 2023. It seems understood that NASA and SpaceX will make sure not to disappoint every individual on Earth, and of course, save Yusaku's life. So, what do you think about the amazing Starship? Do you think it will be the best flight for humans to land on Mars? Let us know your answers in the comment section. Do you know about SpaceX's artificial gravity space station? It's okay if you know that, but click this video here to know more. Trust me, you won't regret it. Don't forget to press that like button if you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.